Hello everyone, welcome to the Crystally Recapped channel. And now you're going to hear a short review of the movie The Renata Road. It all starts with a demonstration of a man who wants to take a break from his normal life. To do this, he comes to the Renata Hotel. The manager meets him there and takes him to his booked room. After resting, the man decides to wander around the hotel. He is surprised that there are no other guests. The man's appearance suggests that he is thinking about something and looks very confused. He can't sleep in the middle of the night, and there is only one animal channel on the TV, so he goes to the bar. There, he meets a bartender who offers him a drink. The man refuses because there is a rule here: no drinking after 9 o'clock. During breakfast, an elderly woman tries to ask him some questions, but his mind wanders. After breakfast, he goes to his room and notices Ginny on the way. He stands in that position for a few minutes, and as soon as Ginny returns, he immediately leaves. Then he runs into the manager, who is posting new rules. His paralyzed wife was sitting next to him, staring intently at the guest. Anyway, the man wants to go swimming for a while, as does Ginny, which makes him hold the book. But before he can say a word, her husband walks in after her. In the evening, the guy approaches the bartender again, and he offers him some cigarettes. But by this time, the rule is still in effect: no smoking. The bartender says that such rules prohibit having fun, so the guest decides to break the rules and smoke. A second later, he starts coughing. Seeing that this is the first time the guest has smoked, the bartender gives him a few lessons. As night falls, the man returns to his room, where he hears all sorts of noises from his neighbor, which causes him to sprain his arm a bit. The next day, he notices that the bartender is sitting next to an elderly woman's room. He says that this is bad and asks to leave to look through the keyhole himself. After that, he goes to the billiard room where the businessman was playing. Seeing that the guest is confused, he offers him a magic pill that will make him a new man. And if he likes the result, he is ready to give him a new game. As a sign of payment, he will have to help find the lost key. On the way to his room, the guest accidentally bumps into the maid. Although he tries to help, she asks him why he decided to stay at this particular hotel and then leaves. That evening, all the guests gather in the common room, where the manager announces new entertainment. First, he brings out a paralyzed woman with her son, a bartender. The visitor notices that when the bartender looks at the other guests, they start laughing, as if he is creating their emotions. At the end of the first performance, the manager's daughter, a local maid, comes out, and her song captivates every listener. The evening ends with the swallowing of the proposed pill. As soon as he opens his eyes, he feels as if he has gained strength. He wants to get more pills, but he needs to find the key. Soon he comes across a paralyzed woman. She has a medallion hanging around her neck. The guest thinks that this is the key, but it is only a ring, but there really was a key in her pockets. All that remains is to give it to a businessman who is playing cards with the hotel manager. He is invited to join the game, and he agrees. In the middle of the game, the manager is forced to leave, leaving the duo alone. Seizing the moment, the guest hands over the key and receives a few pills in return. The man also offers to play cards, and as a reward, he will receive a whole jar of pills. The guest agrees and wins. Later that day, he visits the pool, where the bartender approaches him and tells him about last night's show. In fact, the hotel manager is forcing them to perform, and he has learned to manipulate them by using their fear of the unknown. During the conversation, the bartender gets closer and closer, but the maid enters the room and forces the bartender to leave. In the evening, the bartender visits the guest again to invite him to a family dinner. At first, he is reluctant, but later he agrees. There, he doesn't understand why the maid can't sit at the table, because she is, after all, their family. The manager replies that they need a maid. There are awkward pauses between them every now and then, and the bartender breaks all the hotel rules. When the guest gets tired of the shouting, he calmly gets up and leaves. At midnight, he wakes up to the maid crying, and he extends a helping hand, but the girl just runs away. A moment later, he enters the security room, where there are video surveillance monitors, but he did not know that everyone was being watched. That's when the maid hands the businessman some pills. The guest wants to know what is in the unused room. The bartender sees his curiosity and gives him the key. Upon entering the room, he sees a laboratory station. The The guest realizes that some kind of experiment is being conducted here and runs to Ginny's room, where her friend is injecting a substance during the show. The guy tries to help Ginny, but is grabbed by the staff and taken to his room. At this time, the bartender asks the sister to go to Plan B. She has to go to the room, and the guest realizes that she is being forced and offers to escape together. The bartender sees all this and gives an order to catch the couple. Running to the exit, her heart starts to hurt. The girl helps him up, but it doesn't work, because the bartender was already waiting for them. He orders her to take off her clothes. When the guest comes to, he sees a lifeless maid. As a sign of respect, he decides to sing a song from her first performance. This is the end of the movie. That's all for today. Subscribe and like if you want more videos like this.